increase their hours so they can work the weekends. Do we have to pay them time and a half when they work on Saturday and Sunday?
No.
They're part-time, so they probably don't reach 40.
So the difference there was $1,300?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
it's not,
I'd
it's
do
not
that.
about anything.
That's worth it.
All right,
I
that's
wrote
good.
okay.
Soil and water,
Soil and water, that was pretty benign.
no changes. Highway department,
That's kind of on its own.
The highway, all I had was I was gonna move their longevity, so they paid it out of their funding. And he had some big increases, but he combined.
I think he reasoned all those out when he presented them to us.
So if you want me to leave them.
And wasn't it because he had some of these increases because, well, one was Cadget before, and two, it was because of the carrying over the budget from one year to another.
Correct.
There,
When it got paid.
And they're gonna have more money this year than they've had
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
that bunch. Yeah. But that's not
Okay.
worked into the.
911,
911, just to let you guys know, I did do a transfer and put that, telephone expense.
the 77.5.
Yeah, I got that back over in the right place. And they moved a dispatch person over to the jail budget because he can't fund it with the money's coming in.
Right.
Now that it's
But-
cut,
now the state's getting a cut.
right.
Jen, had you heard anything about E911 getting a bonus check because there's more money coming in than what anticipated?
No, we've been asking forever about it. Scott is the other day didn't say anything.
I talked to the E911 person in Noble County,
Mitch,
Mitch, and he mentioned that they possibly getting a bonus check.
I have not heard a word. There's been no emails and no, Scott didn't know about it, but I'm writing that on here now.
Right.
But we've been asking how much increases come in with the revenue and can't get any answers from that Barry Ritter. You know, because they increased the cell phones and decreased the landlines because of how people use them nowadays. But then when they did that change and changed the law for your funding off your phone bills, we didn't see any increase. I mean, we're flatlined,
Yeah.
and we've been asking.
And they're collecting more money than, yeah.
So if we do, maybe we can move that person back to there.
Yeah, so anyway, there's not much we can do with that 911 account.
Yeah, I think we expected to have to drag people over.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got the sheriff.
Sheriff.
I don't favor raising the gasoline 25,000.
I don't have a problem with raising it a little bit.
Yeah.
What they use or where they at?
80,255. I was gonna look what they were up to right now through half a year. 2200.
Well, that,
But it don't make a difference, they're gonna use what they use, and they're gonna come back and see us.
They've used
we can make
29,676.
it
So they've used about 30.
So maybe
30,000.
put it at 60.
60 instead of
60.
75.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're used through
Is that all right?
June.
Yeah, and I can live with
I
that.
agree with you, Jim. They gotta do something.
Well, and yeah, it comes down to proper management.
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
It's
what's the
easier
big
to have
deal?
no management, that's the
Huh?
thing.
No leadership.
Otto, did you get that on?
Yeah,
Why don't you turn that off a second?
it's a public meeting.
Well, we're talking about personnel.
If you make a motion to go into executive
I
session,
won't. I was just gonna say
I don't
something
mind
about
shutting
one.
it
I
off,
don't want-
but
I was just gonna say something about an individual, but I won't now.
Okay, so do you want it down to 60,000?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's agreement.
Are you making, will you do a motion on that one, please?
I make a motion that we move it down to 60,000 on the gasoline.
A second.
Moved in second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
John, you might be to ask you something. You might be to ask you something.
And we're moving that longevity over to the
Yeah.
thing. That was the only thing on the sheriff's.
Now
Well,
we
what
got-
about uniforms? We jumped from 10 to 15.
Well, we got a whole bunch of new guys.
And that's-
Oh, that's
See,
true.
I mean,
explained that to
well,
us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we got the jail part of it.
Well, he's gonna increase a little bit of that because if we get him the maintenance personnel, so he's, that guy, or whoever's doing it, won't have to do that now, so.
So I think we're gonna have to get one jailer, aren't we? I don't know if we can get by with one, but
Ask for two, get one.
he said he needed 3.
Well, but he's actually gonna get a full one, plus the time that
Plus-
he's
plus-
not doing the maintenance.
Get 1.5.
But I think he was using overtime money for him to do the maintenance.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
what
he
he's
was using, that still didn't count against the Department of Corrections people count though.
And why aren't we looking at part-time for him? He has 2 part-time now that are performing well.
Probably getting them.
Remember the difference for 4 part-timers is 96,752, 2 full-times is 67,116 plus benefits. So it's about a wash.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
without benefits.
Part-time without benefits, full-time with benefits.
I think personally, if we're gonna do something, I'd rather see part-time, so we don't have the benefits.
And normally, jailers,
This year,
jails,
next, maybe later down the road, we'll see where we're at with benefits.
they have
With health
a
and-
higher part-time ratio to full-time employees. Normally, you have more part-time.
And I don't care if they have to pay him $16 an hour. I think you're better off with part.
Well, you really should, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
talk to
you're
him
right.
about that, because they're doing the same job, and I always said you need to pay them at the, so I don't know if it went back to 15 somehow, but my recommendation to the department head would have been, pay them at the rate you're paying your other jailers, just because they're working less hours, they're doing the same job.
Right, and they don't get any benefits anyway.
So,
Right.
so if you do that though, Paula, I would rather you see go 16 across the board.
They should all be making
Well, I
16.
meant everybody.
Yeah.
Raise our minimum.
Just like our cap.
Yeah,
Raise
when
the
we
cap.
do this.
Oh,
When
yeah,
we
and
do
it's
the
time
salary.
anyway,
It is
because I think
time.
you guys did 15 back when I was here.
Yeah.
How long
Yeah.
ago was that? That was
Long
forever ago.
time.
Yeah.
But I'm not in favor of keep going, next thing you know, that thing's
Well,
gonna
right,
go
it's not even gonna matter, and, nobody's paying attention to it. But my feeling is that the dispatchers, the deputies, and the confinement officers, what their job description's doing, they should be making the same as their counterpart, even though they work less hours, because they're doing the
Same
same
per
job.
hour.
Well, if you pay them 16 an hour, that's about 32,000.
It's 33,558 for 2013 at the 3%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dollars and cents.
Right now, they're
That's
32,581.
But it would cost us more if we hired them full-time, cause then you throw that benefits on top of it.
Yeah, does anybody have a calculator? What is?
Well, I don't have a problem with hiring 2 more part-timers at all, or how
Well,
many
4 part-time to
four
make up for the 2.
Okay, full-time.
That's a heck of a part-time pool. And I think that they find that those part-timers would be willing to come in.
They got a
They'll
lot
have to
more
watch
people.
that 29
Can,
29.5 hours.
and a half hour.
can they fill
Threshold.
4 part-time?
Yeah, and if they're working 29 and a half hours, that's better than a full-timer working 39 or 40.
And they're not gonna get to overtime as fast. That it's the threshold that have to be watched. But if they schedule them at 25 hours, which is what I worked in
Why
here.
did you want me to divide
Where-
the 33,558?
Where do they pull it from, John?
Take that times
That's-
40%.
that's just it. Are they gonna be able to get
The quality.
quality for
13,
part-time
423.
confinement officers?
That may, it's
Okay,
gonna be tough.
take that plus
I'm not saying it can't, but it's gonna
33,558.
be tough.
Yeah.
But
You
now,
can see and
A good example of it is out there at
46,981.
community corrections, which
4,700.
is basically the same type
47,000.
job description. They've got a turnover,
46,981, so
turnover,
47,000.
for their part-time people.
What was they paying, John?
I'm not sure.
Out where?
The problem is you always got a bunch of
Community
people.
corrections,
They're starting at 14.
14,
Mm-hmm.
so they got a window of 14 to 16 or 14 to 15.
Yeah, they're starting around 14.
and I read in some HR materials that we have baby boomers that are stepping down to retirement that are looking for jobs like that. I mean, you're not gonna want someone real elderly in there, but there are a lot of people that are 45, 50, 55, 60 years old that are in great shape that could do the job. Hey, I'm kind of in that bracket, don't get all. Yeah, your security, so this is an example. You would be able to handle yourself in the jail.
So I messed up getting water. Are you talking about covering both new positions with
Part-time people.
four part-time? Oh,
And Jen ran the numbers for the benefits, and it would be 47 a position at 40%. So I'm not sure kind of where we stand right now on that, but, so each position actually costs you 47,000 instead of 33,000.
Well, you get us a right figure to put in here, Paula.
I would put in there, and I would add their current part-time budget.
so you're taking $16 an hour times 29 and a half hours.
Times 4.
I put it at 29 actually.
So $16 an hour times 29.5 hours is $472 a week times 52 weeks is $24,544 times 4 people is
$100,000.
$98,176.
So if we were gonna do it, we'd increase the part-time line item to 130.
We need to, well, do we need what's left? Can that be adjusted down where, what was there originally?
Yeah, you might be able to, yeah.
Well, then you're really not adding.
Well, I guess you're
part-timers.
absolutely right.
But if you leave them have the 2 full-time people that they're requesting, it's saving them over $4,000.
Well, yeah,
No,
but the
but then
benefits.
put the benefits.
Benefits.
I already did, that was the 47,000 with the benefits. 47 and 47 is 9,400, and that's
Yeah, but see,
98,176.
you're only gaining 80 hours, and that's why we're gaining more because we're
29
working
times
more
4.
than 20.
Yeah,
We're
you're getting
going to
more hours,
29
plus
hours.
you don't pay benefits.
Well, the benefits are costing us more with the part-time people.
So,
Yes, but
so
you
do
get
you see
more hours
what
of
we're
work.
saying?
I do, yes.
80 hours is what you get with 2 full-timers.
Mm-hmm.
And this way you're getting
120.
29 hours times 4, which is 30,
116,
yeah.
but you only get paid for 37.
Now, I'm not saying which is the best, but you're getting
Right.
more hours with part-time.
You're getting more of a bang for your buck. And I think as a department head, you're getting more flexibility.
Somebody's gonna
But
take
Sheriff
us.
Hodges said he didn't want part-time people because he didn't think he could fill those. Well, it's your guys' call.
Well, but Mark sat in here and Sean sat in here and said they got 2 good part-timers now. They've, been
They
there
did.
for over a year.
Yeah, but I'm not sure,
That's recruiting.
but I'm sure they might have a hard time, and John mentioned that, the quality of people getting that many. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. If they can't, they come back and see us.
That's right.
Yeah, they have a hard time filling them, but $16 an hour is a good wage.
But he said
What
that
if
if
you
you get
do
them
one
out of
full-time and
ITech or
one- 2
Brown
part-time?
Acting, which
Yeah.
I would think that'd be a good source.
And they both worked out well.
Yeah, and
But
you
then
have an
turn out
HR
six-
director that can do that.
$16 an hour is not a good wage.
Well, it's good for younger
It's-
guys.
It's not. $16 an hour is not a good wage?
No,
It is
that's
not,
not bad,
it's
it's not
not.
a good wage,
What's a good wage?
18 to 20.
Okay, then what kind of experience you gotta have?
I don't know.
Well, why don't you do
Doing
one
better.
full-time and one part-time, because that gets you up to 96,000.
Yeah, but then they're not getting as many hours as
We got
the
two
If you got, if it's, this is my theory on that, if you're $16 an hour is about $32,000 a year. How many of us live on $32,000 a year? How much could live on $32,000?
My kid,
But are you talking about full-time or part-time job?
Well,
Don't matter.
It doesn't make any difference. Whether you're working part-time or full-time, you're gonna make $16 an hour.
I'll bet there isn't any of them guys down Whitley manufacturing making 16.
well, and Sam, she works for Passages full-time and she makes $8.50 an hour.
That's
And,
minimum wage, isn't it?
no, it's $1 higher, but I think starting out,
Well, I'll tell you
I
what,
understand,
my guys
I'm just
don't
saying
work
that
at
that's not
SDI,
a
you
good
don't
wage.
make that kind of-
it's not an excellent wage, no. but it's,
You don't think you can do on that?
No, I don't think any of us would.
Okay, so what's your pleasure?
I don't know, what's the question?
Well, you still wanna go with 4 part-time people?
Is that the motion? Is that a motion or are we still in discussion?
I think he's asking, I don't know, a motion hasn't been made,
We haven't got a motion.
but I think he's trying to get more, a feel for where people are.
Yeah, what's your feeling?
I make a motion that he can get the 4 part-time at $16 an hour, and if he can't, he can come back to us.
I second that. That's okay.
All right, it's moved in second for that. Any other questions or discussion?
I think we should amend the motion to include a dollar amount of, $130,000 in the part-time line item, which covers it,
So
How much, Paula, say it again?
130. So we just added
So you got
100 to
a
the
number.
30.
All right, any other questions about this motion with the amendment in?
4 part-time at $16 an hour. Working 29.5 hours.
If you can't make it work, you can come back.
Yeah, put 130,000 out there so you got
All
it.
right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
That's it.
David, you voted for more new help today than you voted in the last
I'll
10
vote for
years.
part-time help.
Oh, I said new help.
Oh.
I got all kinds of numbers here.
Community
Got
corrections.
stuff all